everyone, and welcome to our Touch Base Thursday for September 29th. Last Thursday of September. How did we get here? I have no idea. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes for you all to find me live before we get started. And then I have a treat for you tonight on what I'm going to be sharing with you. So it'll be exciting. So as you are popping on, please comment and tell me hello. And we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. So hi to Beth. Welcome, welcome. I have Claire down here with me, so I'll be calling her over in a little bit to talk to you all about what we together, her and I together, created for you tonight. So I think you're going to like the projects and everything. So again, as you're popping on, please comment. And Beth has already shared. I love that. Love it. Apologize, I'm just a couple minutes late. I had to finish up getting some graphic things ready for our event that we are doing to go live. So anyway, hi to Shireen and Philomena and Carol. Welcome, ladies. Hi as you're popping on to our last Touch Base Thursday Facebook Live for September. Gosh, it's hard to believe that it has gone so fast. Hi, Peggy. Welcome. So anyway, I have a few things in the way of announcements before we get started. And with me being late, I'm going to jump right in because I don't want to value all of your time that you spend here with me. So we're going to jump right in. So this last week, we celebrated Natalie's 18th birthday, so we welcomed her to being an actual adult. But anyway, what she did for her birthday, so she loves the band Greta Van Fleet, and they are out of Frankenmuth, Michigan, right here in our home state. And so she went to see them. We took her in, I think it was March, to see them in about an hour away from us. But now they were playing in Toledo, Ohio, which is about 2.5 to 3 hours away from us. And her and a girl that she works with went to Toledo on her birthday. I was a nervous wreck. It was the first time I've let her go, and just with a friend. And they drove down there, but they had a blast, and they looked so cute. So I'll try to remember to post pictures. I'm bad about posting pictures. However, I did post pictures of Claire's homecoming. Didn't she look like a little princess, you guys? Oh my goodness. I loved the dress. The look was perfect. So I did post pictures. I know most of you have seen them already. But she had a blast. Her dress did get ripped a little bit at homecoming, but it happens. But when someone stepped on it when she was dancing, but anyway, she had a blast, and then she started driver's training. So we're hoping that she's tall enough to see over the wheel. She does her first drive on Saturday. So if you're in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, you might not want to be in the town of Mount Pleasant between noon and 2. I'm joking. She's looking at me like, Mom, that's not funny. With a little smirky smile on her face. She's sitting facing me. You guys just can't see her on camera yet. But I'm going to be calling her up here in just a little bit for all of you to see her. So we're going to be talking about what we've done. So anyway, I'm just going to get through my announcements first, and then she's going to come on up here. So yes, we're going to talk about sharing. Hello to Sandy and to Angela. Welcome. So yeah, if you share my video, you get entered into my drawing for prizes. I do 2 prizes every single week. And last week I announced that we had the soft succulent, there it is, ribbon up for grabs and a bolt of linen thread. You can't go wrong with linen thread, right? And so the winners of those are, the winner of the the ribbon is Marilyn Squirker. So congratulations to Marilyn. I'm not sure if she's joining me live yet tonight, but she's the winner of the ribbon. And then the winner of the linen thread is Philomena Soso. So congratulations to Philomena and to Marilyn. Up for grabs if you share this week, and we'll announce winners next week. 2 bolts of ribbon, and these 2 colors were pretty together. That's why I pulled them. But I have the petal pink ribbon, and then the gold shimmer ribbon. Okay, so those are up for grabs. And then I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my sales goal. I know I shared with all of you last week that the end of the Stampin' Up year is tomorrow, and I'm really close to my sales goal. I'm like, I think it's between $600 and $800 away. So what I was offering is if anybody wanted to place an online Stampin' Up! Order, or I can place it for you, you will receive 20% off that order. I will reimburse you. It's a promotion that I'm offering just myself, so it isn't a Stampin' Up! Promotion, but I'm so close and I want to get to that goal. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there again. I will be providing the link to my online store in the description of my video following my video. Another thing I wanted to mention is that there's a new join promotion starting. So if you like Stampin' Up! Product and you have a big wish list, you may want to join my team October 4th through October 31st. You get an additional $30 in free product. So basically you would get $155 of product of your choice for only $99 plus shipping, or plus tax. Shipping is free. So whatever your tax rate is in your state, it's $99 plus your tax. So awesome for that, right? Okay, so with that, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what you're going to be seeing tonight. So most of you know that my daughter Claire has been accepted to go to Europe next year, France and Germany, with a group called the Blue Lake International Group. And it is a group for her orchestra performance. She had to submit a video. Most of you know she plays the cello, and she had a couple rounds of interviews, and she got accepted into their program to travel to Europe for 5 weeks next summer. And we're excited for her, but it also involves some fundraising because there's a cost with that. There's a cost with her going. She will be staying with host families, but we have to cover airfare, and most of you know we just bought her a new cello, but this is her thing. Like, she loves playing. And so she has been getting creative with different fundraisers. So one of them that I told her to do was to pick out a bundle that she liked. I'm going to actually have Claire come forward here real quick and join me on video so you guys can all see her. Most of you have seen her before. So I'm just going to move my chair over a smudge and have her come in, and so you guys can see her, hopefully. But she chose a bundle that she wanted to create, and you have to look right up in there so they can all see you. That's the camera that we're working on. She's like, I don't know if I like this. But anyway, she chose the Sweet Gingerbread Bundle, and she wanted to make some cards that were very, very bright. So you're going to be seeing some cards that her and I created. She did a lot of the stamping and the big shot work. They're telling you hi, so you need to say hi. I'm putting her on the spot. She didn't know she was doing this until like 2 minutes before we went live, and I got the let me change my clothes because she was still in her dance leotard. But anyway, so we created these cards, and we are going to be offering it as a class. And when you see them, she was down here assisting with different colors. And I really think that you're going to like them. So the registration link for her class, she's going to be posting it on my Facebook page shortly after she goes upstairs. I don't want her to do it too soon because you guys will see all the projects that we created. So she'll probably do it in about 15 minutes, okay? Anyway, but I'm really excited, and I'm really, I love the opportunities that Stampin' Up! Provides. You guys know I do tons of fundraisers for different organizations, cystic fibrosis. I've done them for domestic violence. So what better way than to support my own daughter through what she wants to pursue? It is her goal to raise the funds for her airfare and stuff, all through fundraisers. She's also doing bake sales and candle sales and pop can returns. So we've got a lot of things over the next 6 to 8 months lined up for her to be able to do that. But we decided to do a fun Christmas card class. I let her pick what she wanted. I helped her pick colors as far as product and things that we're going to be using tonight. So with that, I'm going to let her say goodbye to everyone, but I wanted you guys to see her, and I'm going to show you what we've created together, and again, I'll discuss options for the class and things like that, but we are just really stoked about it. Now, tonight's projects may take me a little bit longer. I may not get through them all. When you see the detail involved in these, you will understand why, but they are gorgeous and cute, and you're going to love them. Okay, so with that, like I said, I'm going to dig right into it so we have a time to get through it all, and I hope that you enjoy what we created together. We had so much fun over the last, we did them a couple nights, and then we had a lot of fun doing them. So, all right, with that, I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area, and let's have some stamping fun. Okay, you guys ready for the sneak peek? Check it out. Okay, I've been teasing you guys for quite a while with one of these cards. Here's your little sneak peek. I'm going to move them all away though now so that you can't see them. But aren't they gorgeous? Yes, they are. Okay, so let me turn I need to make sure I still see all of your comments coming in here. So bear with me while I turn my computer screen as well. Okay, aren't those cute? All right, so the first thing, let me see which card we have done first. So this involves a lot of, I'm going to actually show you the bundle first, okay? So the bundle is the Sweet Gingerbread Bundle, and I had this bundle already purchased because I told her she had to pick a bundle that I had, and I had not had the opportunity to play with this. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but I'm like, nope, this is the one she wants. It's perfect. It's great for a teenage girl to pick something really, really cute, right? The dies are awesome too. So you have one of the dies, this has been ran through quite a few times. This die is like a fence. And then you have dies that will cut out all of these little pieces and parts. And they all stamp together so nicely. Now for her class, you will need the stamp set to be able to stamp your images. There's a lot of different ink colors that we used. However, you would not need to have every single one of the ink colors. You could improvise with 4 or 5 of them. You really, really could. The class will include a full tutorial with all of the measurements and all of the ink colors and things that we use to create these cards, okay? And in the class, you also get a whole bolt of the linen thread. You get a whole package of the real red rhinestones. You get a half a pack. Again, I'm trying really hard to keep this a cost-effective class. So instead of getting a whole pack of the Brights paper, you'll get a half a pack. However, we will use from your half a pack to cut for your cards because I use the Brights colors on this on every single card, okay? And then you get the stamp set. The other option is you can purchase everything, and instead of choosing the stamp set, choose the bundle where you'll get the dies as well, okay? However, if you really needed to, you could fussy cut any of these things that we have on here. I mean, like you would, because if anything that's stamped, we are not able to send you, but you'd get like the little heart cut out, you'd get the little trees cut out, you'd get this cut out. You'd get this cut out. So you could do a lot of the stamping, and this is a photopolymer stamp set, so you can see through it to be able to do some of your own stamping. But if you really wanted the dies as well, we have that as an option, as an add-on for you to be able to get those dies too, okay? All right, so it's a lot of product, right? Because you get a stamp set, paper, linen thread, and anyway, so the price is, if you get just the stamp set option, and this includes the shipping, so keep in mind it includes the shipping of the product to me and then the shipping of the class to you. The cost of the class with just the stamp set is $65. It includes all the cards you're going to see tonight, but you're going to make 2 of each one. I'm going to leave this one out because that's the first one we're going to be using tonight, or making tonight. So it includes 2 of each one. I have 4 different cards designed, so you would get 8 cards, 2 of each one, okay? And then we also created a cute little bonus project that you'll get, this cute little 3D project, which we're going to also be making tonight. So anyway, like I said, we had a lot of fun. And if anything, it was just a blast to be able to create these projects with Claire. And again, it's so fun to see her trying to fundraise and do things for her own trip. So that to me was just more rewarding than anything. Okay, so with that, we're going to be doing some stamping tonight because I really want you to see how fun and easy it is to stamp these cards. At first I was kind of intimidated by this bundle until I got playing with it, okay? So for this one, I actually used basic white for my card base, okay? So basic white for the card base, and I am going to fold this in half, okay? And then I used a whole piece of the some of this designer paper. So this is again, I used the Brights. So we used all of the Brights, different colors. So this is the Flirty Flamingo. And again, she helped me pick out color schemes. And some of the stamping on these are not going to be perfect because she did them with me. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. And I'm letting it go because you know what? I had a hard time with it at first, but I'm like, nope, this is her gig. And it's more for me about the experience, you know, for her to be able to to work on things. So most of you might be asking me how old my daughter Claire is because she looks so little. She's a very petite girl for being 14. She'll be 15 in a couple months. Yeah, so she's kind of tiny and petite, right? All right, so I did cut this the whole size of the card base, so it's 5.5 by 4 1/4, and then I cut a 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 piece of the Coastal Cabana cardstock, and I embossed this with the clouds embossing folder. So you kind of have like the clouds behind the little gingerbread house, and this I'm just going to adhere directly onto my card here as well. So we're just going to put that on here like that. And then we're going to do some stamping, okay? So what I did in advance, the only thing I stamped was the gingerbread house and cut it out with my embossed die cut machine, okay? Now this gingerbread house I stamped in Sahara sand, but I didn't do any other stampings. I wanted to show you how easy peasy this is. So ignore that my Early Espresso ink pad is broken. I am in the middle of so many different events and so many helpers helping me with things that my ink pads are out and about. So I had to go and find one that's kind of broken to be able to stamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this little stamp right here, stamps around the door and around the windows. So you just kind of line this up. Again, it's so fun. If you like to stamp, you will absolutely love this. And this is why I may not get through all of the cards with you because I have to clean stamps off in between. All right, then you can see the little house right here, right? I'm just gonna move that ink up. So the little house, the windows I did with Blushing Bride. Now again, you can use any different colors of inks that you may have. You don't have to just use, what we used. I thought the Flirty Flamingo on this one would just kind of make it look a little bit too, that's not the, sorry, the door. I'm gonna do the door first. So the door we did in Coastal Cabana. I got like 10 ink pads out. And for those of you that know, I usually do a lot of my stamping in advance so that we're not stamping, but I wanted you guys to see how fun these are to do. Okay. And then you just line it up because it's photopolymer. You can see right through it. You line it up and you're going to stamp your door. Okay. And then your windows. So we had the one that did the outside, and then you're going to have one that does the inside. So for this one, we're going to bring back in the Blushing Bride. And this one, you're just going to line up and it will do your windows and make them look like they're kind of window panes. Look at how cute that is. Isn't that awesome? I just love it. Okay, and then in advance, I did stamp this. You're going to see me use this in different ways, but we stamped that with Early Espresso, and then Claire ran it through the machine and cut it out. So there's a die for this. And then that's just going to get adhered to the top of the house, okay? But see this cute little detail in here? That is also a stamp. So let me get that in. And that I use the Early Espresso. Like I said, these are such fun things to stamp. Yeah, we had fun with it. She was a little intimidated by stamping at first. So I'm like, you can't go wrong. You'll do just fine. And if it's not fine, it's a homemade card. No biggie. All right, and this is probably the most detailed one. The other ones I did a lot of the stamping directly on, and I did find that the liquid glue worked a little bit better to adhere the edge to the gingerbread house to make it look really, really cute. Look at that. Okay, so then we also have in the dies, let me put my ink away here. Isn't it cute? I know, I'm telling you, stamping that is so fun. So in the dies, you have this awesome like cloud. So I use that right here. And then you also have this die right here. There's lots of moving pieces and parts to the dies, so I didn't show you them all, but they cut out everything imaginable. But you have this piece right here that then can cut out to make it look like it's snow. And so all I did is I ran this across the top of a piece of my basic white. And you can, however wide you cut this, you just cut off as much of it as you want to have it for your piece below. So this is going to be like the snow that is down here on the bottom. So we are going to adhere that down with some dimensionals. Like I said, we had so much fun designing these cards. And if I don't get through them all, I'll still at least show them all to you. So now you can see why you need the stamp set to be able to do these, because it's a lot of little, but they're fun. I mean, and you'll have a complete written tutorial that will walk you through step by step. That will be emailed to you when the kits usually go out or shortly thereafter. Sometimes this one though I'm already working on. So we may have made this snow just a smudge smaller. So I'm putting it up a little bit so it goes the full length of my coastal cabana, okay? And then from there, we are going to start adhering and putting our house on. So for this, I used some dimensionals to put that down. So fun. What was the most fun is that she was down here with me. So we did, I think, 2 one night and 2 the next night. And then the 3D project is, like I said, nothing too fancy, but we were just looking at the paper and came up with something kind of last minute on that one. So this is just going to get adhered down to the card like that. And then so the options for the house, you can either put like a little heart on it or there's a wreath. So for this one, we put a little heart. And then the heart we used, she used polished pink for that. So again, I would have probably used Flirty Flamingo, but these are her cards. And so, I don't know, I kind of like that different color pop, right? Told her, go find something that you want for that. And so she went to my scrap bin. And so yeah, you're truly getting some of Claire's own little creation here. This is the fence that we cut out using the die. So this is the die right here, okay? And I kept the other part of it because I'm going to use it for a different card or different, yeah. We only needed a little bit of this to kind of go right behind here. So I didn't put it on the other end because the little lollipop or the little candies are going to cover it up. So I kind of just cut where I needed it to cut. Let me find my scissors. But again, keep the rest of it because you're going to use it on other cards. That's the whole nature of it. So for this, we did use it was so much fun, Carol. And she's usually not my my creative one when it comes to doing cards. She likes to crochet, and she's got a lot of other cello takes a lot of her time and a lot of her extra. Natalie is usually my more crafty one, but nope, she, we looked at the catalog, and when she first picked this, I was like, oh, okay, that's gonna be, because I knew it was gonna be a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. Okay, so there you can see my little fence back there. Isn't that cute? All right. Now, in advance, she did stamp these and cut these out. So here we have the little lollipops, or the little candy, So we're going to put a dimensional on the back of each one of them. So I'm just going to put one here. Oh, and the other thing I didn't mention to all of you is that both of my girls are going to be in the Nutcracker performance again this year with the dance studio. So even though Natalie is done and graduated, if you take one class during the fall, which Natalie's taking a tap class, you can still try out for the Nutcracker. So Natalie's going to be in the Nutcracker, and then Claire, of course, is still in dance. Both of them tried out, and they have parts with the Nutcracker. So we're excited about that as well. So that's something else that I realized I didn't mention. All right, so then we went with the Granny Apple Green for the trees. Again, I just think she did so well with her choice of colors on this. So that was the hardest part, was figuring out paper. And then I showed her the brights or the subtles were the two that I told her would look the best. And she's like, I want the bright. And I'm like, yeah, I think I like the bright too. Plus, in the catalog, there's also like a couple of these, they do remind me of candy cane. Yeah, they do. Okay, that's a good point. But maybe that's what she was thinking of. I don't know. But there's a couple cards in the catalog, and they are bright, and that might have been why she chose to do the bright cards too. But anyway, either way, I really like it. So you don't see a whole lot of that fence, but it's still enough in the background right there that you can still see it, right? And then this is the cloud. I do too, Susie. I think she did so good. Now that, I don't know what color she stamped it in. I think it was the polished pink. We're going to go with polished pink. But you can see that you really wouldn't need 3 pinks. You could just use Flirty Flamingo or polished pink on this. We just kind of picked and choosed, and I went with it. So this one, we stamped the Have a Sweet Christmas on it. And there it is. And then we just put this on with a couple of dimensionals as well. So we're just going to put them on here like this. And I'm sure she might come up with another class after the first of the year. And then we also, those of you that are attending her fundraiser we're doing on October 15th, I should also mention that we're doing a fundraiser for her on the 15th. If you're local to the Mount Pleasant area, we'd love to have you come. It's a one-day crafting retreat, but we're also offering a couple of classes there. This one will be offered there, so if you're an attendee coming, you can take this class there. And then she's also offering, we're doing gnomes and soft seedlings. So we've got a couple other classes there as well. Then the final thing we did, and I'm not going to take the time to do it, I'm just going to show you it so I can get to the next card. She put, I told her to add some rhinestones to her card. She chose the middle of the lollipops, and then she chose right here in the center of the heart. And then I asked her where she wanted to put the linen thread. She's like, I'm not sure. And I decided to make little bows and put it onto the strings, or on the cute little lollipops there. So I'm going to bring that in so you guys can see the finished card. But it's not that hard to do. I mean, like, all those stamps line up perfectly, and it just made it so awesome. So you can see here the designer series paper with the, you know, you have different designs, and it just gives it a little bit of a different look, but I like them all, right? Okay, so that is her first card in her class that she is doing. All right, I'm going to come back to the 3D project. So I'm just going to put that to the side, because if I don't get to that, I'm just going to explain it. All right, the next one this was the last one that she designed, and I think she was struggling. I asked her what colors she wanted to use. We actually, I wouldn't say cheated, but this card right here, there's a similar version in the catalog to it. We just changed it out using some of the paper that we had here in the Brights Designer Series paper. So you can see why we had to include the Designer Series paper. We used it very heavily here on the cards. So again, this one is a card base of basic, basic white, not very vanilla, sorry. And then we're going to fold that in half. And then from there, I cut a 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece to go completely on and cover this up. So for those, I usually go all the way around my cards, but to save a little bit of time tonight, I'm just kind of doing it. But usually I go all the way around the edges to get a good, good coverage on the card front. Okay, so then from there, we chose to use some of the Flirty Flamingo. So that's why we had to use the other pack. So you know, if you purchase the class, you will have different patterns in yours as well, because I have to use different ones from the kit. But anyway, so this one we chose to put down here just to kind of make it look like it's got a couple of hills in Candy Cane Lane. I like that candy cane. It does kind of remind me of that. All right, so this is going to then just get adhered down to the card like that. And then we did some more snow, okay? And again, this card is similarly taken right from and this, I think I turned it the opposite way. So instead of it having the same pattern here, I just turned it the other way and adhered it down like that. And it just made it look like the hills of the snow in the background were in a little bit of a different color. I know these cards, I love these cards. I'm telling you, like, I sent them to a couple of my friends who I know are watching tonight. So both Shireen and Kay have seen these cards because I couldn't resist. I'm like, oh my God, check these out. What do you think? And they both thought they were really cute too. So a little bit of your non-traditional cards, because a lot of times people just use red and brown for gingerbread. And we went bright. Okay. So that one I put on with dimensionals, but this one I did not. It just gives you a little bit of depth on that right there. And then I'm going to show you again what we did here with the house. So again, the house was stamped on basic white using Sahara sand. Cut it through using the house die. So, and then I started stamping it for my presentation tonight, and I went, no, I want to do that with you guys. So this one we did Flirty Flamingo on all of both the door and the windows. Thank you, Marcia. So I'm not sure, Marcia, if you joined a little bit late, but this is actually a class that we'll be offering as a fundraiser for Claire's trip to Blue Lake. And she actually helped me down here designing these cards. And she picked the bundle because trust me, I probably would never have done something quite so intricate for a fundraiser for her. But I wanted this to be all about her, and I wanted her input, and I wanted her to help, and I wanted, yeah. So we had a lot of fun with this, and she will be helping me prepare the kits. So it's true story. My one of my gals, Jen, who cuts for me, she saw these cards sitting here, ready for my Facebook Live when she stopped to get some supplies last night, and she went, "Oh, good Lord, I have to cut and prepare them." And I went, "Nope, you don't." And I said, "We're going to do them ourselves." And she went, "Oh, good." So she was a little relieved on that one because they are a lot of work, but we'll get there. Oh, I know we will. So this one, we just cut out, I just put the white on here and we just cut out this with basic white. So that this time we didn't stamp it. So again, you got lots of different options on things that you can do. You can see here, we put the wreath on the house instead of the little heart. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive here to the top of my house. So yeah, if you're looking at this bundle and you feel intimidated, don't. It was so much fun. Once you just grab your ink colors and you kind of start playing with it, it's so much fun. Now this one, I think I stamped the this stuff. I have a soft suede ink pad out here too. So I think I may have used soft suede instead of the early espresso on this one. So, but anyway, we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of that as well. Covering up my dimensionals with I'm actually doing pretty good. You guys would be impressed if you saw my table. I was worried I'd have a complete mess here. So yeah, Claire left us to go upstairs and do her homework. So Marcia, this is the sweetest, I think it's either the sweetest or the sweet gingerbread. Sweet Gingerbread. It's called the Sweet Gingerbread, and all of the sentiments that we're using on them is from the stamp set. It's the only stamp set that we use, so yes, the stamp set will be needed for the class for you guys to be able to do exactly what I'm showcasing. You'll get like the basic white cardstock and things for you to do your stamping on. Any pieces that we can cut out, we will, so you might not need the dies. Like we would cut out the house, you could stamp it later. We would cut out these, you can stamp it. So like we'll do as much of the cutout and stuff as we can on this. To help you, but there is an option for the class if you're interested where you can add the stamp set or the dies with it, so that way you'd have both of them to be able to do that. Okay, so this one again in advance, we use Poppy Parade. This color is Poppy Parade, so we use the Poppy Parade this time to make the cute little lollipops and dimensionals. Here we go. And then the dies, I didn't actually show you guys the dies all on camera because I have them all, they're so little, but you get like, the neat thing is when you cut out these little gum balls, or these little gumdrops, I mean, you get like 4 and 5 dies, so you can cut a bunch of them out at once, which I love it when Stampin' Up! Does that. And the lollipops, I think you get 2 of them, so you can cut out more than one at a time. So it makes it really, really easy when you have multiple dies like that. So kudos to Stampin' Up! For coming up with that. So these we just adhered on here like this. I also in advance had her do the little wreath. We did that with the Granny Apple Green. I'm going to add a mini dimensional. This time I do have mini dimensionals with me because you need to really have both for this. And then that went on here like that. The little gum drops, we have those here too. I don't want to lose them. So these are quite little. Again, those are stamped in advance using Flirty Flamingo. Gonna put a little mini dimensional on those. So cute. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2, and then these I just put over here on the side. And you could always put more on if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to just use the couple. And then, oops, upside down, okay. And then we have the little piece here again, and we stamped the sweetest Christmas on it again. So let me find that one. I don't know if I cleaned that off. I may not have. Nope. I'm trying to clean them off as I go because I'm going to be using them over and over again, but that's okay. All right, there we go. And then I stamped that with the Poppy Parade. So let me find Poppy Parade. But if you didn't have Poppy Parade, you could easily use Flirty Flamingo. Like I said, you could also use black for any of your sentiments. So don't let the fact that I used 30, not literally. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I used 10 different colors of ink. But I'm going to guess that most of you probably have these inks already if you are Stampin' Create. And then the thing that we did here with the ribbon, let me actually close a couple more of my ink pads up. What I did is I used the linen thread. So again, with this class, you would get a whole bolt of that linen thread. And then you get a whole package of the red rhinestones. And again, your half a pack of the Brights Designer Series paper that you would get would be the leftover pieces that we don't use for your cards. Okay, so it's not like you would get a whole pack that's, or a whole half a pack that's not used. We would take what we need and you'd get the leftovers of it. So, but you can still create more cards with this. So what I do on that, you can see I'm just hanging on to this, wrapping it around my hand about 4 or 5 times, pinching it right where I started it at together to kind of get some loops there. And then I'm going to just cut this off. Now I should have put some adhesive down first, but I got busy talking. So I'm just going to put some adhesive strips down here. Those are going to be covered up by this, so it's not really going to matter. But what I do with this then is I make sure I kind of keep it taut. I twist it, and then I'm just going to put it down here. And I'm going to make sure... so yes, Marcia, if you're attending my, this class is open by registration. But if you are attending my October 15th event, you can get it there and do it there. So yes, I'm still going to ask so that you register online so we can know how many kits to prepare for and that we know how many, you know, stamp sets and things like that we need to purchase. So, because I that's the one thing with Stampin' Up, we can't purchase that in advance. So I have to do registration in advance before we can order a product and things. So anyway, trying to make sure I follow all the right rules on this. Okay, so then we're going to put this on with some dimensionals. And that registration link, Claire's going to probably post it. It'll be posted here to my Facebook group, and then I'll share it to my page within the next 15 minutes. So I told her to do that pretty quick. All right, so there's the Have a Sweet Christmas. And then what I did is I just kind of took my fingers and pulled these apart so that they're not all uniform and all sitting on top of each other, and made some little loops here like that. Just kind of pull it apart. Isn't that cool? I love how that does that. Okay, so then I told Claire, where are you going to be putting your rhinestones? And I'm glad that she looked at that little wreath and realized there was 3 perfect little spots for these. So hi Nancy and welcome. I'm glad that you're here. So Nancy, you missed my announcement. You have to go back and watch the replay because Claire came on. This is a class that her and I designed for any of you joining me late, that Claire's doing as a fundraiser for her international trip that she's going on with the Blue Lake International Group. So again, those of you that might be new to me, my daughter Claire, who is 14 and she'll be 15 in November, is traveling to Europe with a group. It's called the Blue Lake International Group, and she'll be playing her cello, staying with host families, but she has to fundraise her airfare and all of that kind of stuff. And so I told her to pick a bundle that she liked and that we would create a class around it. And this is the class that her and I created and the bundle that she picked. Again, when I first saw it, I was like, oh man. But anyway, then she decided to add a rhinestone to the top of these because she thought it kind of looked like a cherry on top of a gumdrop. It works for me, right? All right, so anyway, there you have that one right there. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing on the card. I don't think so. Okay, and that was the last one that we did. So I helped her with a couple of these, but the first couple she pretty much did on her own with me. This was a work in progress for the last 4 days, let me tell you. Okay, my next card, ooh, I like this one. All right, is this one right here. So this one is, instead of cutting out the die, we stamp directly onto basic white, okay? So for this card, and that was the other thing I had to have her learn. I'm like, okay, Claire, so we can't use these two colors of designer series paper anymore because we already used it on the cards. So you have to pick different ones. So she picked Gorgeous Grape and Granny Apple Green for this one. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go with it. So Granny Apple Green, she picked the papers first, and then I kind of helped her come up with the template. We did basic white on here. Oops, sorry. We did Granny Apple Green first. Thank you. And then we did Whisper White. Okay, so these two get glued together. Granny Apple Green is 5 1/4 by 4. Your Whisper White is 5 by 3 3/4. Standard sizes when you're making cards for any of you that have done these before. The paper here is 4 by 3, and we just kind of offset them a little bit. The neat thing is, if you don't like the plaid one, you can always turn it over. You can, you know, mix and match them. I like the plaid one. It's probably my favorite favorite pattern with these designer series paper packs. So I left mine that way, and I'm just going to have a little bit of that green showing, and then this gets glued down to I know, like I said, these cards turned out as I just loved looking at them after they were done. I'm like, oh my God, they're so cute. All right, now before we adhere this down, the linen thread went around there. So I had to do the linen thread because she wasn't sure how to do it. But what I do, you can see I just put a little bit of the adhesive on the back. You just start on the back. And the other thing is, in my tutorial, I will link in the link for you guys to view this video again. So if you forget how to do anything, you'll be able to go right to where I start designing, and you'll be able to do the follow along. So that's the other neat thing, right? I sure am, Beth. I sure am. Like I said, it was... I gotta admit though, when I first sat down, I'm like, oh my gosh, what? And I told her, you have to use what I have, because I didn't have time to buy anything. We just started these. We just started making these, and all I had was the brights or the subtles. I'm all out of all the other colors. So that's what I told her, you're gonna be stuck picking one of those. But she went with the brights. Okay, so for this, what I did to figure out this size, so I wanna be able to teach you guys how to do this as well. And I know I've shown this before on many of my Facebook Lives, but all I do is I kind of measure the stamp. I measured the stamp with a ruler, and then I go about 1/4 of an inch bigger on each side to give me a little bit of a space on both sides. So off the top of my head, I can't tell you what this measurement would be. It'll be in the tutorial though, okay? So for this, I use Sahara Sand to stamp all of my gingerbread houses. Why, I don't know, but that's the color we had, and so we went with it. Okay, so for this, and it stamps really good. Now I'm hoping I can stamp it good on my table. I did use a mat to stamp mine down when we were doing it earlier. But if it sticks to this, the neat thing is you just rub it underneath with your finger, and you get a really good, it's a little crooked, but we're gonna go with it. And like I said, some of the stamping Claire did, so it's not perfect, but I said good enough. It's her thing, right? Okay. Did I clean this off? Nope. All right, bear with me. I got to clean a little bit. Gotta clean. All right. So for this one, she used Gorgeous Grape. She did a lot of the stamping on the houses, okay? So that was one of the things that she was doing while I was cutting and going, what about this? And what about that? And so it was kind of neat to see her getting into that. So for this one, she used, I gotta do the outline first. So first we did the outline. So this is the outline one. And this goes just, like I said, I stamped it crooked, but it's okay. This goes around, when you stamp it, it goes right around the door frame and the window frames. And then she did, let me get my inks out of the way. Let's see here, the door. Windows. I need windows. Windows. That's that one. Tons of moving parts. There they are. And they're clean. All right. I cleaned them already. And then she used Gorgeous Grape. Oops. I can tell that's not inked the greatest. So let me ink that up a little bit. And so these are truly mostly Claire cards, because I think I probably would have stuck with more of the more of like the general colors. So it was kind of fun. All right, and then, so what I did when I knew that she wanted to use the Brights, I just went to the Brights collection and grabbed a bunch of the coordinating ink pads. So that's kind of why we have different ones in here. Again, you wouldn't need to grab all of them. I happen to have them all, so we used them all. And then she did a pink 30 Flamingo door. Cute. And then that outline in soft suede, or the little decor here that goes on the house. I love that. And then this one is the cute, cool. Now this one I had to put on a different block because I used so many blocks for this tonight. So for this, it's just like the top of the, you just line it up and you just stamp it on there. Quick, easy peasy. And there you have a cute house. It was so neat though that Stampin' Up put the windows like together on one stamp so that you didn't have to do a whole lot of lining up just once and you have them both done. So from there we just adhered this down to a piece of the Flirty Flamingo, bringing in another bright color. Oh, we did put dimensionals on that. So dimensionals on the four corners of this. These cards are they're so fun. Like I just love them. Okay. And then this went down here in the middle like that. And remember that piece that I mentioned? I cut some off. Well, we're going to cut some more off. And I did it right along the bottom of the white. So I'm just kind of using my fingernail to know where I need to cut. And then using some liquid Tombow glue here. Now you could also use your adhesive sheets if you wanted to. Or you could use the fine tip glue. Either one of those will work. This is going to go along the bottom down here. Your little picket fence. Love it. Okay. And then with a scrap of one of the colors of the Flirty Flamingo designer paper, I dropped my little mini dimensionals, so I'm just going to go back to cutting off my edges. We are going to, I got 10 minutes. Woo, I'm not doing bad. Guys, I'm doing pretty good. Although, like I said, it's 4 cards. 2 of each one is what's included in the kit. And then we added in this bonus box that I'll show you here too. And then for this card, I did a double bow there. So let me show you how I did that. All I did was cut a piece of this. And I probably don't need that much. I always cut too much. But I just doubled over a piece of this and then cut it. And then from there, just made I like to kind of straighten it out a little bit. Otherwise, it's hard to work with. And then I just made a bow. Ta-da! And that one I cut a little short, but that's fine. For purposes of the video, it'll be just fine. I trimmed those off and adhered it onto my card with a glue dot. Now, if you are new to my group here, I noticed that I've seen a couple of new names. Make sure you like and follow my, my page here. And then I also have a group that I post lots more inspiration things, classes, Stampin' Up updates, projects that I make, that kind of thing. So make sure you also look for that group and join that as well, okay? The more the merrier. And then we topped off the card. You can see each one of these little scallops here has a rhinestone in it. 1 on the door and 2 down here. And that completes this card. All right, so that is card number 3. All right, you guys ready to see card number 4? I think the colors on card number 4 might even actually be my favorite. But you guys can be the judge of that. Because I am going to ask you which one you like better. But this one right here is our final card for tonight. Ta-da! Again, and you can see the door is a little crooked. It's okay. I told Claire, don't worry about it. It's all good. All right, so for this one, again, she had to pick paper that was left in the paper stack. So that's when we went to the paper stack. We used Coastal Cabana and Melon Mambo for this one. So Melon Mambo is her card base. And then we have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 of the Flirty Flamingo. And then a piece of, this is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2, I believe. 2 different patterns here. So you can kind of pick and choose. This one I like the colors of too, probably because it's pink. I'm a pink fanatic, so we're just going to layer these 2 pieces on. And you could use both the same if you wanted to, but I wanted one to be a little bit different. And since I didn't use like ribbon, normally I put like ribbon or something like that where the 2 meet. So instead, I just cut a little strip. Do I not have one here? I don't. So anyway, but what I did, or it fell, I cut a little strip here. It's a 3/4 inch strip, and I put it behind here. So I'm not going to actually finish putting all this card together because I really like that behind there. And then what I did is we have it's the same kind of concept from the previous card. And I'm not going to do all of the stamping on this one because I do want to make sure I take a couple minutes and get to the box before my 8 o'clock time is up with you all. But you can see I did the same thing. We stamped on this. The same colors, different, used colors that she used in here, added from our home to yours on this one, added the little bow at the top, I love those little, red rhinestones in the wreath. It just makes it so, so pretty. Okay, so that is that card. And then the box, let me showcase the box for you. So the box just takes, and we're going to make a purple one here on my video tonight. So this is just a 6x6 piece. You're going to say that is so simple, but this would be so cute to put like Tootsie Rolls in it or anything like that. So what we did, and I'm going to need to find my trimmer behind me. Bear with me here. So what we did is we just, well, I did this, I should say. She was working on the cute little gingerbread box. But what I did, and you're going to want to score this. So I'm just using my paper trimmer to score with. You can also use your Simply Scored board if you have one of them. But all I did, make sure I move the cutting blade, is very gently, I scored this at 2 inches on all 4 sides. It's a 6x6 piece of paper, right? So you could make tons of these boxes with your leftover paper. So that is why you would be able to make these, okay? So sorry about that little delay. I had a phone call coming in and I had to quickly hang up on it so that it wouldn't freeze my video. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're just gonna cut up on one. You're gonna do the opposite side the same way. Okay, and then what I did is I did the little miter cutting on this end so that when you fold this up to be a box, it's not too big and bulky. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this off. And then you don't need that entire big flap either. So I cut those off a little bit, I think too. Let me just make sure I remember how I did this. But it's literally that simple to do with a 6x6 piece of this designer series paper. Get them out of the way. So you start folding. Let me look at mine and make sure I know what I did. Oh, I think it was those little miter cut ones that I cut off. Okay, so we're just going to fold these in, fold it all in, get all good creases on every single score line. And again, you don't need a lot of that bulk there, okay? You just don't. Because all you're going to do with this is you're going to fold all of these up, right? So what I did is you don't need all of that on there. So I just took my scissors and I just snipped off some of this on these little tabs, okay? So when you adhere it together, nothing fancy because no one's going to see it. So when you adhere it together, your adhesive goes on these tabs. I always say when you're making a box, remember we make a tent. You make a tent so you know that the fold is, upward so that you know that that's where your adhesive has to go. You don't want it this way. You make the tent. That way you know your adhesive goes on those flaps on the top here. And then all you do is literally fold these in. And by cutting that off, it just doesn't have this be as bulky in the inside there, okay? Fold them in, and there is your box. That's it. So it kind of is like a 2x2 box, and then decorated a gingerbread, put that on the front. So you could also put one on the other side if you wanted to, and you could put, you know, whatever you want in there. But isn't that adorable? So cute. Okay, and then what we did too is when we put this on, we put it on with dimensionals. This time I'm just going to adhere it onto the card on the box without dimensionals. So we just kind of put it on here like this. And then along the bottom is some more of this awesome fencing. So again, you just kind of measure, cut where you think you need it. We're going to put that on with some glue here. And you can see I'm not using a lot, just a little here. So here we did a yellow one, here's a blue one. I hope I got that stuck on there, one of the insides from that, but that's okay. All right, so there you have how quick and simple it is to make that box using that 6x6 designer series paper that you'll have left over. Topped it off with, she put lots of the red gems on there, but I love it. All right, so let me bring them back in. I'd love to know what you guys like. I mean, aren't these just so unique? I think they are. So let me bring them all back in again, so you can see all of the cards that we created together. Again, this was so much fun and memories that I'll remember for a long time creating with her. And this one right here. So you can see that we've got 4 really fun, cute cards. And like I said, you will need the stamp set because you can see that there are a lot of stamping on them, but it's not hard. It lines up so awesome. And then you'll get a bonus box because like I said, you'll have some paper left over, and then you'll be able to know how to make the boxes for cute little party favors or anything like that. Yeah, your kit includes all the supplies to make 2 of each one of these 4 cards, your leftover paper, whole pack of the red gems, a whole bolt of this, and I'm trying to think what else, and the stamp set, of course. There's also an option on the registration link for you to be able to say I want the bundle, so that way you'd be able to make more cards if you wanted to as well. So Janet likes the purple. I'd love to hear what the rest of you like on this. Thank you, Joanne. Like I said, these were so fun to do and a little outside of my own comfort zone when she saw the one on the catalog and wanted to go bright, and I was like, oh, okay, we can do this. So anyway, there's my fun and unique Facebook Live for all of you tonight that we put together for you. Now this class will not be a class that I'll be offering outside of the fundraiser for Claire. So it's going to be open through October 31st, but I will be doing my ordering in a couple of different shifts or shipments, so to speak. So anybody who registers for the class in the next week and a half to 2 weeks, I'll order that product. And anybody who registers at the end of the second 2 weeks in October, I'll order the product then. So if you know you want the class, definitely register for it early so that we can get it prepared and get it ready to come in the mail to you. So anyway, thank you all again so very much for joining me tonight. I also wanted to remind you, if you are interested in just placing a Stampin' Up! Order to help me reach my goal, I mentioned at the beginning of my video, I'm about, I think it's like $690 or something like that dollars away from my goal. And if you wanted to, you won't receive 3 of the cards tonight, so ignore that top part. But I'm doing this to show you my host code, my website. The Stampin' Up! Year ends in a couple of days, so actually tomorrow night at midnight. And I'm trying really hard to get that, reach that goal. And yes, you can, Beth. I just saw your comment about picking them up at Team Retreat. Yes, absolutely. So anyway, thank you all so very much for joining me tonight for this special edition of my Facebook Live. It was fun to create these and share them with you. And I hope that you don't feel intimidated by that stamp set like I did at first, because like I said, it's so simple. Hopefully that kind of will alleviate some of the stress as well when you're looking at it to go, oh my gosh, It's really not hard. It all just comes together so nicely. All right. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight. I kept you over by 2 minutes. I appreciate you all so very much, and I look forward to seeing you all back here next Thursday night for, I'm not sure yet. I need to come up with my projects, but I'm sure that it'll be something Christmas related and some fun things to share. All right. Thanks everyone so very much. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you back here soon. Bye.